All right, and we're right back at you. It's the Soul Material Podcast. It's T-Mark, the Street Shark.
And your man, the OGEO.
All right, and we're here for another episode of some sneaker business talk, giving that clarity over popularity, as only the Soul Material crew can give you. So this episode, we're just going to give you some more tips to how to stay laced during the holidays. So here you are with your 2023 holiday buying guide. We got Black Friday, we got Cyber Mondays, and the pre and post and everything else in between, with discounts galore, coupons all over the place. So let's give you some tips on how to stack those coupons and get the best deals possible. So OG, let's kick us off because we have a couple staple practices that we always want to keep iterating. So for our fans, you can and new listeners, you can go back to some of our episodes, particularly the art of acquisition, our staple segment where we're giving you information on how to acquire those deals. But holidays are just a special time of year, and then again, it's just sales galore all over the place. So sometimes they're optics where the prices went down, they went back up, went back down. But now we're giving you some of the details. So OG, kick us off with a tip or two on how you navigate through the holiday buying season.
Definitely. As we have gotten older, Tony, and in this game, one thing, my impulse buying has decreased significantly. So with me, the very first thing I do is prioritize what I want. So you know the release dates well in advance and kind of prioritize what I want. And there's some things I want out there that are not in high demand. So I will have those things on the list. I'll look at multiple sites. The Shark has told us before how to save those things, the reasons why you save those things on the site. So log into a site, actually have an ID or a user, name and so forth. And because there might be some surprise things that may go on during the day where things may get marked off during a certain time period. So with me, Shark, the first thing I do is prioritize what I want first and see what's in demand, what's not in demand, because you'd be surprised a lot of things that are not in demand, how those things will go down even further. Like you said, even after your Black Friday, after your Cyber Monday, right before Christmas, things will go down again. So again, me wearing a 10 and a half, 11, and me wearing a medium, the availability is usually a whole lot more than the Shark who wears, a 12, 12 and a half, depending on the shoe. If it's a Curry, who knows, you may have to go up to a 14 depending on the fit. So, but yeah, those are basically my two things. First and foremost is to prioritize what I want and things that are in demand, making sure I've already have those apps on my phone. You already know who's selling them, who has them, and so forth. And also those items that are not in demand that I've been looking at for a while and just knowing when to strike and really monitoring things daily, particularly in the month of December, man. Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So there you have it. Again, a tip that we told you before. We're just reiterating. Make sure you get your wish list, your favorite list. Create accounts on all the websites, the boutiques, the bigger retailers. Just create logins. Save your favorites. You're going to see the prices go up and down, and then that's a great way to also see if the products that you're looking for while you're prioritizing, if they're even eligible for some of the sales as well. So just to keep the party going, and give you some tips on how to really acquire those deals. Once you get your favorites together, again, now that you have the list on multiple sites, actually compare, like save some of the same products on the different sites, and then so that just like the OG said, is impulse buying has gone down a little bit. That will help that out too, because you'll get excited like, ooh, 20% off. Oh, well, it's the holidays. Like that should be the floor. All right. You should be shooting for, that 30-35%, and then stacking a $10 off something here or extra 5% here, and make sure you sign up for your rebates websites as well, so that you can log in through those sites and you get your cash back rewards. This is a time where there's a surge in your rebates as well, where you would normally get, anywhere from 3 to 5% cash back regular, but now during the holidays it might shoot up to 8, 10, 11, 12%. It's not like what it used to be, but definitely a way to at least knock off some tax or something, and just level out some of your purchases where you're just saving in nooks and crannies, right there. So there goes another tip. Make sure you sign up for some of your rebates, and like I personally am on Mr. Rebates .com, and I've been on there for years, and you'll get to see when those prices go up and down as far as the cash back rebates. Because they're not, you can't always combine them, but when you can, make sure you do. And then another tip is, monitor these sites, and you know, it's not a crapshoot, but you're gonna have to exercise patience. And I say that because you could get 20% off on Monday, and then when they refresh the sale, that could either shoot up or down. It could be 20% off, and then it could be a couple days later, it could be 25, 30%, or a couple days later, it could be, 20% off, $99 and up, where they just tweak it a little bit, make you put some more in there. Before I kick it back to the OG, one more tip: cart items. Okay, that's why you save it so you can easily get to it, and then cart the items. Because sometimes they don't. It's like the mystery percentage sometimes on, especially the boutique website. So you actually have to put the items in the cart, see if it actually is a discount, or once it gets into the cart, you might see different items have different percentages off. And if you're on a site that's doing that, more than likely you're good you're gonna have something eligible where it gets even higher, 50%, 60%, because not a lot of sites do that. But if they're tiering their discounts, those are more likely boutiques, and they're really trying to liquidate. They're trying to liquidate their inventory for the holiday season. So let me kick it back to the OG one more time for another tip.
And the key thing you just said, Shark, as far as the liquidation, there's been times to where if a deal looks too good to be true, it probably is because, again, you're dealing with sites like a Rule of Next, for example, a Hibbert, for example, where, like I said, they're trying to get rid of products. So, again, you monitoring, and I'm not saying that you are, sharking every single minute of the day, but monitor every day, see what's going on with a product. And if you see something that, hey, it may be a time period where it may be 50 to 60% off, it may be time to strike. So definitely. So you got to know when it's too good to be true. Sometimes when during the holiday time, it is, because particularly with clothing items, shoes here and there, but particularly with clothing items, I see a whole lot of sites that once that season is over, they're ready to just get rid of some stuff. So again, Shark has shared in our previous episodes a lot of the clothing items that he's received: jackets, hoodies, so forth. We even now, with our new platform here, showing some things off, we'll show more things off. But I'm telling you, the Shark and I do not pay full price if we don't have to, definitely. So you got to have that mindset, because a lot of people will just say, again, lack of patience, I'm just going to strike. And then 2 weeks later, a day later, 5 days later, you'll see where the same item was there. Or like Shark has talked about with optics, they may say it's sold out. You see it's sold out, and then all of a sudden you see some sales go through, and then they have more sizes up there. So you got to be careful of that as well. So be patient. And again, with optics, things may be gone from a site, and they may reappear during the holidays. So be aware of that too, because there's still strategy on how sites want to go about things and getting rid of things. They're not going to give you the biggest percentage off, because again, they're going to tier to where they're going to get as much as they can get as well. But it's all about you getting the deal or
Yeah.
the steal.
Yeah, or all of the above. So and just to keep the theme going, just as far as it, just that interaction with the site, just like we told you when you're in your regular stores, you're doing your Burlington runs, you're doing your Ross, and Marshalls. You have to keep going to the stores. So it's the same principle of the thrill of the hunt. This is what we're talking about, us being OGs, because the why of many sneakerheads has shifted, but for us, it's always going to be the thrill of the hunt. What I also want to say is, when you make sure that you're logging in, if you want to, you don't want to get flooded with emails. This is the time of year where everyone's emailing galore. But I just want to just put finger on a pulse and just officially talk about it here, and because especially with boutiques, special releases, a trend that has happened over, I guess, the past year and a half. Many sites, or whether they're independent retailers, boutiques, or sole proprietors doing collaborations in their, releasing their inventory, they have password walls. Okay, so when I say a password wall, it meaning like you're gonna have to sign up for an email list. If you ever, if those early stages before they got more widely available, like Salehi Benberry with his Crocs and a couple other his New Balance releases, where he would release them on his site before the regular release. Well, you have to be on the email list, and then they'll email you the password like a minute or two before they want to drop. So if you just want to make an extra email for it, like I have, a separate email just for spam and email lists and things like that, just so it doesn't clutter up my normal inbox. But that'd be something that you can invest in, because I see a lot of that. I haven't gone as far as just signing up for like text message alerts or whether that's a little, if that's what you want to do, then that works for you, then so be it. But manage your emails, because some of the pre-Black Fridays and extra sales, it's almost like it's a benefit. Our mailing list gets it first, and then now here's a special password, and you might have a 12-hour head start to the rest of the world. So just wanted to give you those tips, because they're going to keep doing that and finding different ways, because we've talked about options in the past. That's their that's like exclusivity marketing, where they're like making it look like you have VIP access, and in essence you kind of do, but if it's the same inventory spiking up and down and you're not paying attention, then that's the proverbial buy one get one, half off, which really means it's 25% off. So it's just, this is the time of year where you have to be smart, because there's a lot of sensory button pushing going on in the world of marketing, to get you to push those buttons, get up and, buy those items and consume at the retail level this year. So you have any more tips, OG?
I'm excited to see how this year goes, because we're in this post-pandemic era now, and now we're going to have some data, if you will, to support or back up what's gone on this year compared to last year. Last year we didn't kind of have that. It was like, let's see what happens. So I'm more excited to see the trends of the sites that we frequent a lot, just to see how things go down, and see if I'm lucky enough to strike with my price margins with the items that I have already kind of saved.
Gotcha. All right. So I give you you already dropped a couple sites, so let me do a quick roll call. I've dropped these in different episodes too, so nothing's changed. I'll just keep going back, right? Practice what you preach. So number one, oneness. That's that boutique out in Kentucky. Like they're the ones that are gonna give you that blind sale, and you got a cart,
Mm-hmm.
and you definitely can get 60% off, up to 60% off. I've got some crazy steals from there. I literally probably have like 3 items in the cart right now, just looking to still continue to refresh. Century in Texas. I'm naming that one again because I've actually got a couple messages off of some of the shoes that I bought in the past, in particular like Yeezys, where I'm getting them for like $100. That's another site that, well, they'll do sale plus 50% off. So do that, and then you just have your Nike wish list, and then logging into your Hibbett Sports, Dick Sporting Goods, DTLR. We don't have Shoe City anymore. Sorry, DMV. And then just lock in with your JD Sports or Chic Shoes. Millennial Shoes. I'm just some of the same type of stores that just have their you know, they're regional, but they have, crossover some of the same inventory, so DCLR Villa, they're the same company, but just paying attention, because sometimes they have stuff on the website that's not in the stores, and you can't always do the lookups in the stores, but But we told you about how you can look up in Foot Locker. We got a whole episode just talking about Foot Locker and all the Foot Locker hacks. So we won't rehash too much. We'll just do a call to action. Go back and find our Foot Locker episode where we told you all about style numbers, how to do lookups, and how to make stores, how you can order and ship to home from the store. All right. So just don't forget you have all of those assets and object in the mirror closer than they appear. So if it's not on the shelves, it's not over. All right. So keep going. So I just want to get in. Let's get into an example real quick. Let's do some show and tell before we wrap up this, this quick episode for our holiday guide, because this is an example of what the OG was talking about in the beginning of having patience. Because we had a retro release this year that is near and dear to both of our hearts over here at the Soul Material Podcast. We had the original Nike Air Flight Huaraches, the basketball Fab Five shoes, so the Fab Five colorway. We got it. We both got it, so we're not talking about that. Another release that came and went so quick, and it was kind of like a soft, like you knew it was coming, but it's like, was this limited or was it? Because, I know I had a handful of people asking me, like, they sold out so fast. What was going on? So I'm talking about the Lakers away colorway for Kobe Bryant when he was a sneaker free agent. If you go to our page, you'll see some reels on those shoes. I've had the white one, the home editions for quite a while, but now they brought the black ones out, so definitely had to grab those. But they sold out. All right, so I actually didn't get them when they sold out, and I know you can run to the StockX or eBay and just pay extra because you want it. But practice the arts of acquisition and just have patience. I said, you can go back to exhibition season where I talked about the mini shoe destiny where we just let it be. If it's meant to be, then it will be. So what I did was I also saved favorites on the sneakers app, because that was a particular release where you couldn't see the inventory on the Nike site if you saved it as a favorite. So I saved it inside of sneakers. So once I went back to the sneakers and I saw that the sizes popped back up in a full size run, I was like, wow. And then I started, telling people like, yo, go back to Nike right now. You can buy them. So I bought mine from Nike, but then within the next week, then I see plenty other sites are, Finish Line, Hibbett Sports, full size runs, and they didn't come and go in one day. They're still up right now. So let's just dive into, get some, not a retro box, but there you go. Huarache logo. So it's real. There's the tag. Bang. Open her up. Ooh, come on now. Look how sweet that is. Look at that. The Lakers. We got the perp. Nice and shiny. All right. Yeah, that sleeve in here. Because this is a different purple than the Fab Five. Because that's more like that Concord, the darker purple with the blue. So again, we got the air on the back. This is just sweet. And then the nubuck on here is just, this suede nubuck here is super soft. I'd hate to see what happens if you get stepped on over here, and get scratched up. But this, nice and buttery. So at least, like some of the older retros, especially the leather, would it crease up extra hard. And it wasn't that tumbled leather in the past, at least for the white ones. Maybe we'll do a comparison of the white ones with the OGs and these. But for now, for this episode, we're talking about practicing the art of just being patient. Full size run back up, and a lot of people wanted this shoe and missed it when it came out. And I hope that you didn't pay too much, because this is not a $250 shoe that you should be paying for. So it's retailer bust. Or lower, you know what I'm saying, over here at the Soul Material Podcast. So just wanted to give you that extra look. Boom. Nike Air Flight Huaraches.
And just another tip for those folks. a site you might want to invest in or save, just Google SVD. And that is a site overseas that will drop shoes similar to this a little bit earlier because they are overseas. And they are another site that they're looking at liquidating and getting rid of everything. So you can get things at a very good price, even with the overseas shipping and so forth, and have it in 2 days. So check out SVD as well because they drop those as well. But Tony, that's a great cop. I remember the skyrocketed prices of when they had normal sizes during the time that Kobe was wearing them, and we didn't know where they came from, but they were kind of PEs, but not his size, and it was ridiculous. The price that shoe was going for at that time. So shout out to Kobe, man, RIP. But that was a great time when he was a free agent because stuff that he wore and the brands that he wore and those colorways, man, memorable. And he dropped some buckets in all those shoes as well. So that helped as well. But yeah, I remember that shoe vividly, and I'm so glad that you got your hands on them. And the normal folk can now get their hand on them, just not the special folks that's willing to pay $1 zillion for them or have connections with Nike or with athletes and so forth. So good that the common man wins finally.
Yeah, and so the question is, isn't that what you wanted? The rhetorical question is, isn't that what you wanted? Because sometimes it doesn't feel like everyone's happy now. Because it's not exclusive anymore. So it is what it is. I was talking to someone about Salehi and the Crocs, and they were noting that you can buy them on the Crocs website now, and you can, and they're there, and they're there for kids. And I was like, well, I think what happened was the initial colorways were more exclusive, and then there goes this mega hype for that could have been sneaker of the year last year easily. But then now that it's more available, did it just lose steam? It's still a high shoe, but why? Just because other people can have it now. But I thought that it was attacking the clones. Everyone just wanted the same thing and not being different anyway. So sometimes it's just weird how those things play out. But again, this is why we talk about our journey, so that we can give you some just pull back the curtain on this lifestyle, because we're not the only ones that feel this way. So that's why we're just go. We do what we do with our podcast, and we're not. We're just keeping it 100% authentic with our takes and our experience, and we just want to share because that's what it's about with the community. Is as we want to make sure we give back to the sneaker community, and just keep evolving with it. So that's the essence of this episode, was just really honing in on holiday buying strategies. Again, give you some tips. Do some more homework on our podcast platforms or YouTube channel. You can go back and look at some more episodes, and we'd love to see you stop by our IG page, and maybe do a little shopping over there too. We have a few items in our IG shop, that are for sale right now with our home and away keychains. We have flag pins, and then also our signature floaties, the retro hang tags for your jackets and your shoes. So just getting into holiday buying and giving spirit. So that's the best way we can give back to you, is just give you the game and the information. So any final words from the OG before we sign off on the holiday buying guide?
Hey, happy holidays to you. Happy shopping. And if you do utilize these tips and you strike, as the shark said, hit us up on IG. Hit us up because we will love to hear how the common man won. And we're all about the discounts. We're all about getting that percentage off. And keep us posted. We'll keep you posted. But again, we're the channel you cheer for, and we're the podcast you cheer for. And again, as Shark said, we are happy to provide the game because sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, and learn from our experiences. Well, so once you check out, you buy those purchases, make sure you check your shipping. check your handling. All right, it's a holiday season. You never know what's coming up. We don't want to have any laser ship mishaps. We have a whole episode on that laser ship that stole Christmas last year. So hopefully, the Grinch or or laser ship doesn't steal your holiday joy as well. So again, track it all the way through. Make sure you get your packages and it's what you wanted. From the Shark, T Mark the Street Shark, wishing you happy holidays and good luck on your buying missions. So for the Soul Material Podcast, the channel you cheer for, the podcast you cheer for, we're signing off on the 2023 Holiday Buying Guide.
Yes, sir. Till next time.
All right. See you later, friends.
Sneaker business talk. It's the Soul Material Podcast.